Hi everyone, and today I'm proud to have Tian Yu here to share with us some of his insights for prompting Gen AI. He is a master prompter, I tell you. He has prompted more than 1,000 hours of Gen AI stuff, including like 30,000 images, 10,000 videos. And if you go on LinkedIn, he's like the master of cat images and recently videos as well. And he has created many stuff, like, for example, the book you see at his profile pic, Will ChatGPT Take My Job? I give advice on how to use ChatGPT. He also has advice on image creation. He has a free DALL-E 3 handbook for how to prompt it. We'll share those in the links later. So without further ado, very excited to have Tianyu present to us today. Tianyu, please.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you everyone for your time. Especially this is a Monday morning. I appreciate your time coming over to our podcast instead of doing something more productive. But I'll make sure that the session today is actually productive, and I hope I can share some useful insights for you, especially when you are into AI for creativity, AI images or AI videos. And today our main focus would be AI images, because image is the foundation of videos, right? And I can just briefly introduce myself. I entered the field of Gen AI in early 2023. So I joined the field is because I saw the huge potential of tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney to change almost everything we do. Another trigger was that at that time I was impacted by a layoff in my previous company, and I was suddenly free in that moment. And by that time I was already experimenting with ChatGPT Midjourney a lot. Then I had two options. The first option was to use ChatGPT to write hundreds of resumes tailored to the 100 job ads and then mass apply the jobs. That's the option one. The option two is to deep dive into this technology and see what exactly I can do in my life. So eventually I chose the second path. Instead of looking for a new job or in similar to my previous role, I took the other path. So I started with consulting. I experimented with ChatGPT and Midjourney and the other tools almost like 8 hours a day, more than 8 hours a day. And then in 2023, I was focused more on learning, experimenting, and consulting works. At the end of last year, I began to develop online courses. So one of my course was focused on DALL-E image generation, and that one was in collaboration with Ronnie Hermosa. He's a very popular instructor on Udemy. So our course eventually became the top seller DALL-E course on Udemy globally. So that was the start of the content of the online course creation. So I created more online course, and then including this book, Will ChatGPT Take My Job? So that is so the book was also part of a great summary of the learnings and consulting works and the trainings throughout a period of 12 months when I started to dive into this field. Yeah, so I'm very excited to share with you more about image generation. I've seen a lot of misconceptions about AI images, and I've seen a lot of issues with the AI image prompting techniques. So that's why I would like to have this session to share with you the optimized path to get almost anything you can imagine with AI image tools. John, do you have any question, or I can just continue talking?
Yeah, you can continue. So I'm just saying that I actually signed up for your DALL-E 3 course, quite useful information. And I think today you'll be sharing some of those information as well with the rest, right? So
yeah, I actually have updated my DALL-E Playbook, which is an ebook with all the styles I can go through the ebook in a bit. But before that, I want to talk about the fundamental differences of prompting a large language model, a AI tool like ChatGPT, and prompting an image model like DALL-E or Midjourney. I have a lot of friends who are in the same field. They are specialized in large language models. They train people how to use ChatGPT, how to build their own tools, and they can write very efficient prompts to automate tasks for others. But they always struggle with images. One of them come to me and say and ask me, how can I generate this image? I have a perfect prompt and which is optimized, but why I never get what I wanted? Then I ask him, so can you share me your prompt? Okay, then I receive the prompt. It's like almost 200 words long. It is really detailed, right? Detailed, well structured, but it's very long. So it seems that sorry, it seems that he's using the same method of prompting on ChatGPT Gemini when he tried to prompt an image, which actually doesn't.
What's the difference actually if you use the same prompt for the text and the image? Do you have some examples about this? Like, because I mean, logically speaking, if we talk to humans, right? Like if I say like it's a beautiful and sunny day, I have the same mental picture when I talk to you as when I convert it to an image. Like it should be almost similar. So when you say that it's different, how different is it? Like, so maybe could you just guide us through that?
Yeah. So when you prompt a large language model, you treat it like another human, right? So you can use a structured approach. You can assign a role, and you can ask the model to retrieve information from files, and then you can instruct the model to proceed step by step. So that is very clear when you instruct a large language model. But when you instruct an image model, you also use your natural language, right? It's also English or your mother tongue. But the problem is that it is natural language, but the structure itself is not exactly the same as how you talk to a large language model. So when you talk to an image model, you cannot treat it like another person. You can't say that, okay, you are acting as a creative director in the advertising field, and then your job is to create an image that shows a close-up shot of a cosmetics, and then make sure that there are some splashes around around the product. So you cannot do that. You can do that on ChatGPT. Then ChatGPT will translate your natural language command into a prompt for DALL-E. That is possible. But when you talk to an image model directly, it almost never captures the grammar, but it captures the structure. For example,
sorry, just to interrupt a bit. So for this, I think I have some intuition why this is the case. Because, you know, in traditional text models, we are actually doing like next token prediction. We feed in the internet text corpus and then ask it to predict the next token, which is like normally a subword, like I am currently talking, you know, then you predict the next one. But for images, there's no such next token prediction. Image, usually what people do is like stable diffusion, you know, where you actually start from random noise, you try to guide towards the text as a condition. So they try to condition the text to generate that image out. So because of that, the embedding space for your image is very, very restricted. Like it's not really next token prediction for your image anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole sentence is crammed down into one very, very, I call it an embedding space. Yeah, and so I think it is a lot to do with the training data of that image generation model that determines how you prompt it. Because if let's say they say that, oh, it's a digital zoom, you know, that kind of stuff, they can use terms like this for a camera to get different kind of views. But if they don't have such things in the training set, then even you use those words, it won't really work. At least this is my interpretation. So you are the expert at prompting all this. What do you think?
I think that's absolutely correct, and it largely depends on the training data. But coming back to my previous point about the prompting structure, basically when you prompt an image model, you are almost like it's more like retrieving data from a database using SQL. It's not really like talking to another human like large language model, but it's like data retrieval. Then you need to know what kind of data can you retrieve from this database. And then just like you said, it depends on how the model was trained. If the model was trained largely based on high quality photography, and then or cinematic data, then you can easily get pictures like look like photos. Or if a model is trained based on a lot of animations or anime or cartoon, you will likely get very similar styles from your prompt. So basically, your keywords are like the keywords you use to retrieve data from a database using SQL. But the difference is that it is still generative AI. It's not like you are pulling something from the database, from the raw data. It's not nothing you create with Gen AI is raw data, but it's a prediction based on your keywords combination, and what you get largely depends on how you structure the prompt and how much information you want to get out of it. In many cases, people want to put so many things that this is one of the very common misconceptions that people want to inject too many elements in a picture. So in the end, the model will try its best to show you what's in the picture, but when you look at the output, it's no longer a normal image. It's no longer a normal photo. The quality is very bad. So if you want to, for example, if you want to have a cat, a dog, a tiger, or a lion, basically you want to have several different types of animals in one photo. If you use Midjourney, DALL-E, Leonardo, or Flux, or any image model in the market, none of them is able to do that correctly. Yeah. So yeah, because the image models cannot multitask, you are simply asking for too many things in the same image. But on the other hand, if you focus on one subject, let's say we only focus on the tiger, and you can still add a lot of keywords that describes the elements or the style of the image. For example, you can say the tiger is wearing hoodies and then with sunglasses. Then the photo was shot on Canon EOS R7. And then you can even add camera specs at the end of the prompt to make it more like a photo. And then the output will be very similar to a real photo. So that is something that we can try. Basically, if your prompt is focused, you focus on one direction, and you will generally have better output than if your prompt is focused on too many subjects.
Yeah, that sounds similar to the embedding space thing. Like, because if you compress all text into some vector, and the more stuff you describe, the more messy. I mean, this vector can't really contain all this information, like especially position. Like if you talk about position, image models are actually quite bad at that. So there's actually been a paper that says that, if you prompt the training data with a position like the vase is on the left, the car is on the right, or like the flower pot is at the foreground and the table is at the background, with captions like this, when you train the image models with the image matched to the caption, and then you do some form of like I believe they do some clip embedding or something. Yep. So this is the thing that would help to get the information, the text to that image. If not, if you that's why I can understand why you have this observation that as you prompt longer and longer for your text, for the image, it doesn't capture everything fully. Yeah, it's because of this embedding space. And I don't think this is problem that is easily solved, because like if you want to improve the resolution of the embedding space, you have to increase the resolution of your training data as well. So this is difficult, because going from not so informative modality, which is text, to a very, very informative modality, which is image, like it is quite a big leap. Yeah, that's why it's so difficult. But how do you generate your image or videos then with more than one character? Like you do it character by character, or you do all at the same time?
Having said that, there are limitations, right? And you can't simply put more than 3 characters or 2 different species into one image. But in some cases, it is still possible. Like I can have a cat, a wolf. The model is not overworking too much. Yeah, so it largely depends on how we want to tell our stories. We already know the limitations, that the models cannot multitask. It doesn't generate too much information within a square or landscape picture, right? But you can certainly tailor your story based on what you want to focus at. So you can I've seen a lot of good examples of people using Midjourney and or Flux that they simply focus on one product or the facial expressions of the character inside in the movie or in the picture. So as long as they are focused and they apply the correct star keywords and using an efficient structure, they can achieve pretty good results. And on the other hand, you don't really need to generate anything you imagine, because that is impossible, right? Technically, that's impossible because you need to train a model on all possible visual data in the world in order to create something like that. So that is almost impossible. But what is possible is that you can use other techniques to tell a story. For example, I'm talking about not only using text to generate images, you can also use image to generate images. You can use one structure and use the same structure and apply to different styles. Yeah, so that is another way of amplifying your bandwidth in your AI creativity journey. It's the same with videos, and video models are trained on even smaller data set because they can only focus on a number of high quality videos in order to produce good results. But it doesn't mean that you have to use text. You have to use a prompt to generate every single video you want to imagine. You can easily use other methods like text to video. You can generate all the images and then animate every single image and make them into a movie. Or you can transfer the styles of the existing videos into an AI video. Like you can record your gameplay and then convert your 3D pixel game into a realistic movie scene. So that is possible.
Yeah, that's a very interesting observation. So, it reminds me of a paper 1 year ago. It's called ControlNet, where, you can control based on your, like, either the stenographic position of your arms, or like if you do some segmentation of the scene and you pass that as the conditioning part, the stable diffusion side could actually generate the image according to that schema you give. So do you recommend doing that more? Or, I mean, you can also give the text prompt in addition to those. So when you generate your images and videos, you normally have a reference image or reference video. So back end, it might already do this kind of style conditioning for you. But personally, do you recommend like doing sketches yourself and then just passing it into the image model to get better generation?
If you are in the industry, if you are a designer, if you are an architect, or if you are a cartoonist, right? You can easily use AI to test different type of styles on your own artwork, on your own sketch. That is the easiest part. That's why I think GenAI actually empowered a lot of people, especially they are skilled in this in this direction. But yeah, coming back to the ControlNet, this is actually the direction of all the image models, because when Midjourney V4 come out earlier last year, everybody was shocked, right? It's like the first time in history we can generate photorealistic images, and that was a classic move. That was like the ChatGPT moment. It came out almost at the same time as ChatGPT, but that was the ChatGPT moment of AI images. But the biggest issue of Midjourney is that it doesn't have ControlNet. So so essentially every time where you generate a character, every time where you generate something, you cannot use the structure of that image as the reference when you generate new images. So even until now, there's no ControlNet. On Midjourney, you can use character reference. You can make similar characters to your source image, but there's still like no application of ControlNet. That's why a lot of people are using other models like Leonardo is a very good alternative, because it uses different versions of Stable Diffusion, and it also has ControlNet that and almost anyone can use these features easily.
Actually, I'm not too familiar with the recent trends of image models. Are they still using Stable Diffusion as the backbone for generation?
It depends on what kind of mod, or it depends on what kind of tools. Stable Diffusion is still one of the most popular foundational models. And apart from that, the most popular one nowadays is Flux, which is also open source model, and it is more as good or even better than Midjourney. Apart from that, there's DALL-E 3, but there's no update in DALL-E 3 model for a year. So we don't know whether there will be a DALL-E 4, but that's not important, because there are always better image tools you can use. And we are moving towards the videos. So yeah, so I think people's expectations are getting higher and higher. Well, you can generate photorealistic images, or you can generate cartoon characters. You desire character consistency and style consistency. That's why people look for tools with this kind of consistency they can achieve. And then once they have the consistency, they want to make movies. They want to bring their characters to life. That's why we can see the booming of the AI videos. Yeah, this is how I see the direction, how I see the direction of the technology. We are moving from uncontrolled images. We are moving from the random hobbyist image generation to more professional, controlled and professional image mode. And now we are moving the images. We're moving from images to videos. So in the next few months, or maybe early next year, we will see a lot of AI, 100% AI movies in the market. So that is also that's also another direction I can foresee.
Cool. Yeah. So you want to demo anything for us for today? Like I think it'll be quite cool to see like some live action.
Sure. Yeah, I can see there's a question here. How much does AI impact the job landscape? So it's a very broad question, and I think it really depends on how eventually it will impact almost every single role. But in my experience, it's more like augmentation of your capabilities. If you are a designer, you can use AI to save a lot of time when you design, when you're in the proof of concept phase. And if you are a developer, you can also use AI to quickly develop MVPs before moving the products to the market. So we will become better at the core capabilities that we are good at. And in the meantime, we can use AI to automate a lot of tasks. So eventually, I think it will be it will be a natural part of our job scope, no matter what job you are doing. It's like Microsoft Office. It's like Microsoft Office. Everybody has it, but how much you use it depends on how it will benefit your work, and how much you love playing with the tools.
Well, actually, I love playing the image gen tools. Like usually when I want to create like a blog or something and I need some placeholder image, I normally go to either the Meta AI to generate or GPT-4 and then use
Oh,
the...
you're using Meta AI?
Yeah, Meta AI is not bad actually.
Yeah, it's very good.
And you can even edit the image directly after that. You can tell them what you want to edit from a single image, like in text. Yeah.
Yeah. So Meta also released the movie Gen. They haven't, it's not publicly released, but according to the research paper, they are probably one of the most advanced, because they allow the users to edit to, and so it does almost everything that other video models can do. But in the meantime, you can also segment anything from the videos, and you can replace the elements, and then easily change the video into any style using text prompt. And you can also put your face, put your own character using into a movie that you want to create. So I think that is that's something that we are I think hopefully that will come out by the end of the year, that we can have a play with. If not, their competitors will do that. So I think I think there will be more control over, for average users like us, there will be more control over what we can create with the video tools. So today I want to show you a PDF file. I want to show you the file first, and then I can give you a tour of one of the image tools. This file, let me show the screen.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to hear you share all this. Actually, I also want to share more on the like segment anything model. There's a version 2 now by Meta, and I think that kind of model can form like the kind of conditioning that you need for ControlNet to generate stuff. Like you can get these segments out for like the person, the background, and then you can animate those also. So
Yes, it's pretty crazy.
yeah, if you have the whole pipeline out, it's actually like I saw your video to video. You can replicate the entire video style for the original video to a new one. And that one back end, there needs to be some segmentation going on. So people have already incorporated the whole pipeline.
Yeah. Can you see my screen share?
Yeah, we see the DALL-E 3 full playbook.
Yeah. So this is the 4th edition. Actually, this week is the 1-year anniversary of my very first copy of this ebook. So a year ago, I was playing around DALL-E a lot, and I at that time DALL-E 3 is the most advanced image model, because it has the highest prompt adherence, and you will be able to generate almost anything. And then most people are using, if you're using GenAI, you are using ChatGPT. Most people are using ChatGPT, and if you use ChatGPT, you can generate images with DALL-E through ChatGPT. That's why I created all these tutorials. This is the 4th edition. I just want to show, I just want to take you through this document. It's for free now. You can find it on Gumroad. Let me show you.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll just put the link later for everyone. But you can put in the chat also so people can look at it.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no update in DALL-E 3 for a year, but I still made this 4th edition because I found it quite because the structure of the ebook and the methodology I used is quite useful for the beginners of AI image generation, no matter which tool they use, because you almost for every AI image model, as long as they are based on diffusion models, they can you can use the same structure in your prompt. The only difference is that some tools has give you more parameter controls. Like immediately you need to adjust the parameters, and then in some other tools you have controls over in the UI, like Leonardo, which I will show you in a bit, has more comprehensive UI control for the if you want to generate new images. But I
think you need to scroll down. Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah, so I treat this ebook as a foundation for AI images. Let me show you the structure here. So we have, so part one is simply a tutorial of how to start with generating images with DALL-E. You can use ChatGPT, Microsoft Bing, or Microsoft Designer, or other tools. There are many other tools that are integrated with DALL-E 3 model. The main difference is that the terms and conditions are different. For example, if you use DALL-E images from OpenAI, from ChatGPT or OpenAI API, you basically own the commercial usage rights to the images. But if you generate the DALL-E images through Bing or Microsoft Designer, you don't own the commercial rights to the images. So there are differences in terms and conditions, but they are all they are the same model.
How can people tell though, like which model you use to generate?
You have to read the terms and conditions before you use the model, before you use the tool.
Oh, but the end outcome, the image, no one really can tell, right? Like which tool you use to generate. I mean, I know Bing put a watermark on the bottom left.
Yeah, so there will be watermarks inside the image. So it's not visible to human eyes, but there are
So which
watermarks.
is the model again to use if you want to own the copyright?
Anything from OpenAI. So if
So
you use DALL-E from any service from OpenAI, you own the commercial
okay,
rights to the images.
so means you need to subscribe for the pro plan, right? For the OpenAI, they can use all the image models in there.
You're freezing.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it means that we need to subscribe, right? For the OpenAI,
Uh,
the
you have to, yeah. So to make most use of it, you can subscribe to the paid ChatGPT.
understand. I mean, because to me, if you generate images but you don't own the copyright, then it's a bit hard to do anything with it.
You own the commercial rights. It doesn't necessarily mean that you own a copyright, because copyright largely depends on the laws of the respective countries. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a yeah. So it's this area has been it's a blurry area actually. But
Yeah.
but at least for the AI tools, you should know yeah, whether they grant you commercial rights to all the creations you make. And one thing is the commercial rights, and the other is the privacy. Some AI tools uh, make your image or video generations by public by default. So you
Mm.
also have to see, yeah, which ones you can generate images privately.
Okay, got it. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
run through this.
Yeah,
I
I
think this.
can.
Yep.
Yeah, I will not go through page by page. I just want to show you the structure. Basically, I tested every single one of them, and this is a collection of my past playbooks in the past year, and I tested every single one of them for the purpose of my DALL-E course on Udemy. And this playbook is actually a byproduct of that. So if you want to generate, and then this is like a cheat sheet of what you can generate with AI. If there's anything beyond this, if you are the new user, if you want to generate anything beyond these styles, you can try at your own risk, because that will be difficult to generate. But if you follow this guide, okay, let's say if we look at the photography, Am I scrolling down? Yes. Okay. So first of all, we look at the photo styles. So for the photo styles, in your prompt, you can construct the prompt like very simple like this. You start with the subject. The subject is a white cat with blue eyes, and the variable is the photo, the camera style. For example, the low close up shot of a white cat, and that's it. And then you can add on more of the context or background in the same prompt. It's very simple. Then then you can use other variables like style, effect, time of day, and even input the hour of the day, and different types of camera films, different time and era, and even camera brand has some impact on the photo output.
So which is your preferred one for, because you always generate like videos and images of yourself holding the AI word and so on. Like what kind of style do you like to use for those?
I don't have a preferred one because I use all kind of styles. Yeah.
Let's say if I'm a beginner and I don't know what to use, like what's your recommended, like, just use that template style first.
Yeah, anything here. So I have different I have examples of how they look like. So you can play around. Depends on what you want to generate. You can play around different camera angles and different shot types and different yeah. You can see that the model was trained largely on the photo on a large number of real photos with a very precise description, right? Anything I posted here are basically something that is easy to achieve. If I don't have that style, it means that it's not stable or it's not easy to achieve.
Yeah, let me just pick your mind a bit. So like this styles didn't come like automatically out of nowhere, right? Do you have a place that like that you go to often to see what people normally prompt and like share their tips and so on? Because like I wouldn't know how to prompt this time era or this without looking at this. Like how do you learn all this?
When I learned most of this because of Midjourney. So I was on Midjourney. I was crazy about Midjourney when I first started my Gen AI journey. I there are a lot of GitHub repositories or shared files about different art styles, different styles, and different camera keywords, different styles, different art styles. So I learned I learned a lot from that, and I also because of this experiment, I also went to the library. I went to read the books. I read the photography magazines and the textbooks in the library. And every time when I see something interesting, I note down the camera type and shot and the angle of the shot. And I note down how they describe the photography in the magazine, and then I tried it on Midjourney or on DALL-E. So that's how I eventually I have this summary of different types of styles.
I mean, obviously this one that you showed is only a selection of what you tried. Can you roughly give me an idea of how many camera styles you tried before you concluded with all this?
This is like 20% of all the things I tried. Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, 80% of the things I tried, they are either most of them failed, right? Then there's no point of showing. Some of them ended up in my course. So when I developed the course, I also I use a lot of in-depth. I have a lot of in-depth information in the course, and this file is only like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it's a great course, by the way. You should try it out. But I really think this image prompting, you probably need to know how the captions are generated. I mean, how the captions are for the original images when they feed in this DALL-E 3 model. And if, let's say, there's a lot of photography blogs and so on, which describe the image in this kind of way, like from the Fujifilm camera, like Dutch Golden Age and so on, then it is possible that prompting like this would change the features because it's in the training set. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think this is
and
an exercise to figure out what is in the training set. Yeah, because we don't know the training set. Yeah, that's quite interesting.
the one thing I like about DALL-E is that OpenAI is relatively transparent about their models, right? And comparing to many other companies. So there's a research paper, there's DALL-E 3 research paper, and in the paper they have a very clear process of how they transcribe the training data set. And then because they were able to use, at that time they were able to use GPT-4 to break down the training set images and then generate more accurate descriptions. Then that's why from the user end, when you generate anything with DALL-E, you can see that the prompt adherence is pretty high. So it gives you almost anything you input in your prompt. Of course, if you put too many things, you still have everything there, but then the style will be messed up and it will not look nice anymore.
Just curious, what length do you advocate to not go over? Like, because normally when I like tell people also like to use text models, try not to go over 2,000 tokens for like for llama models. I mean, the later ones can 4,000 tokens. But for image generation, is there a set length that you normally tell yourself, hey, do not go beyond that?
The length doesn't matter. It's more about what kind of subject how many subjects you have. In my course, I think I have an experiment of how many people you can put inside the prompt. If you do one close-up human face, almost any image model will give you a perfect result. If you have two people in the picture, it is still okay. You can get it on DALL-E, you can get it on Midjourney. Three people in the picture, then the face will be slightly blurry or look cartoonish. A group selfie, then every face will be blurry. So so yeah, so it really depends on how many things you want to. So the length of the prompt doesn't impact the output that much. It's more about how many elements you have in the image.
I see. So how many conditions you want the image to fulfill, right? Like three faces, one face red, one face green, one face blue is harder than just saying three faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have one face, right, close-up face of someone, and then you say that in a Sunday afternoon, modern cafe backdrop, then there's something in the background. Then you can also say that the mood of the photo is maybe sad mood, and there's heavy rain outside. That is still possible. The prompt can be a bit long, but it is possible to generate something like that because you only focus on one subject, which is the close-up face of that character, and then everything else is in the background. So that's not something that will impact the overall look of the picture.
Yeah, just curious, when you said that you generate a group of faces that is all blur for like DALL-E or DALL-E 3, is there any image model right now that can solve this? Like a group of faces but not blur?
No, I don't think so. There's sometimes you get good results from Flux, um, but that's but every single face will lose the detail. Yeah, so that is something that I think none of the models can. It's the challenge that none of them can resolve at the moment, which is also a benefit if you want to detect AI generated images. So it's difficult if it's difficult to detect with your own eyes if a profile photo is generated by AI. It's impossible, right? But it's possible to tell with your own eyes if a group of people photo of a group of people, or if a photo of a profile photo of someone with a lot of people in the background. If that's the case, then you can easily tell that this is AI, because the people in the background or the details of the objects in the background are often
Yeah,
messed
they're
up.
lost. Yeah, because the embedding space for the text, they don't really dictate the background that much. So the stable diffusion process wouldn't generate anything that is coherent. I mean, it could be coherent in small bits, but it may not be coherent as an overall bit.
Yeah,
There's this site that like, is this face real or something like that, that you compare which is the real face and which is the fake
yeah,
face. Actually, I use this technique a lot to find out which is the fake face. I don't look at the face actually, because the face normally generates quite well for a close-up face. But it's whether the background is it plausible, because
yeah,
usually the background is not generated well.
yeah. That's one way, and another way is to see how perfect is the whether the AI image whether the picture is perfect. AI images tend to be more perfect than the normal photos, especially like for models like Midjourney. They typically give you perfect looking humans. Some other models will give you more casual, more human like look. But if you work with AI a lot, you can still tell with your naked eyes whether that person is AI or not.
So actually it become a classifier now for fake images after you do all these images. You are human
Human
classifier
classifier.
now. Yeah. So is there any way to get good background? Have you figured out any way to do that? Or
There's one way that I think, and the industry, there's another direction that I think the industry is moving, which is the mixed reality of the blend of AI and reality. So if let's say I generate an image, a perfect image of myself, with an AI tool, and then I don't like the background. I can easily change the background. I can use AI, or I can use a real photo of the background. And then I use another AI tool like Photoshop. Now Photoshop already have this kind of feature, so you can easily blend myself into another virtual background or a realistic background. So that makes the AI generated content very difficult to detect, because it is partially AI and partially realistic.
in fact, you can do the same for more than one human face, right? You can generate each one individually, like crop them out using some segmentation model, or
Yeah,
like whatever model to crop them out and put them in the same picture. And then maybe after that, use some GenAI tool to say like blend them into a coherent whole. Because like once you get the basic template right, like you want to add sunlight and stuff like that, I think it's possible. Much easier for the AI to generate than
yeah,
starting from
it
scratch.
is. Yeah, it's easy to detect the fully AI generated content, but it's hard to detect if it's blended, if it is partially AI, partially human. Yeah,
Yeah, because like OpenAI has like this Sora model, which people like think that, wow, we have reached video gen tech that can, they have this trailer of this balloon head, and the
yeah,
balloon walks around. Actually, it turns out that there's quite a lot of human
yeah,
curation
it is.
of it. It's not a end-to-end thing. They actually had to in-paint some images and so on, which shows that the technology right now is not truly there yet, but it is there halfway. And if you like do some augmentations yourself, you might be able to get the effect that you want. So personally, do you do those kind of like human-based augmentations on you are normally just trying to prompt end to end for the model to get the output?
When these few months I spent a lot of time on the AI videos. So when I test the videos, I tried all the methods. I tried to I use text to video, generate anything from scratch, from nothing, from the text. I also use image to video, especially if I need to bring a story to life. I generate all the images in the storyboard and convert every single of them into a video. And I also use video to video, right? So I can sometimes I use my own video as input and generate new styles or anything imaginative. So yeah, so I do use yeah. So now if you look at the examples I share on LinkedIn, it's all mixed of reality and the AI. It's yeah, I'm already moving to that direction. It's no longer 100% AI. And even when I create content, I still spend a lot of time doing the editing, doing the other stuff. So yeah, so you can see that it's still, I would say it is all these AI creative tools, they are still tools, and it depends on how we use them. And it yeah, so the more you know, the more skills you have in editing, the more understand the better understanding you have in the foundational models, the better output you will generate.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, this I think is a trend that will soon be like I'm sure some companies will take the whole process of like cropping each face, putting it into another image and doing the blending all in one pipeline. I'm quite sure some company would tackle that.
They
Right
are.
now, right now I don't think it's done yet.
Oh,
Are
they are. They
oh
are.
they are
Uh,
already.
yeah, so they are, but they are using the earlier version of the video models. So basically, if you look at the advertisement, what's in the advertisement is very different from what you eventually get in the tool. So, but in the advertisement, they were able to, there are some apps that takes your face and put your face in a character, in a movie character, and then generate a movie for you. It is possible, but just that it doesn't look that nice. It doesn't look. It gives you a bit uncanny feeling. So they are not using the best technology, but they are moving fast in the monetization front.
Yeah, that's cool actually. Like I saw an advertisement where using a phone, you go one round around the person, capture the 3D structure of the person, then they can put you as like a basketball player or soccer player in that video. Are you talking about that technology? Where
Yes,
like
yeah, something, yeah, similar to that.
yeah, I think that's really cool because like if that's the case, right, you could actually fake yourself being at different places, which is actually not cool by the way. It's an issue for deepfakes, but
Yeah,
yeah, right now it's still quite easy to tell. I think sooner or later it will be very, very hard already.
yeah, especially when you look at the avatar technology, it's getting so realistic. If they capture like 20 minutes of high quality um, footage of yourself talking, then they can easily create an avatar of yourself. Yeah, so that is yeah. So this is the part that I think we all need to watch out, because there will be this is what is essentially this is what powers the deepfake and all the scam industry.
So actually, based on my conversation with you, I conclude that, just merely using text to prompt the image is not enough. Like you can get a base form there, but you need to add on a bit more, like either do some cropping, regeneration, edit certain parts yourself. The more the better bet is if you could use some form of ControlNet to control directly what you want, that would be the best, or some reference image or reference video. Like so far, this is the conclusion I get from you. Like in order to get the image you desire, the reference image is very important. Like you can spend a lot more time getting that reference image, then you can augment it rather than coming from scratch from text yourself. Yeah,
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 yeah.
cool. All
So
right. Yeah, you
anything is
want to
possible.
continue?
Anything can be your input. Here, this is one example that I shared this mini film on LinkedIn a while ago. So it was all the images were generated by using DALL-E that in December last year. And when Clean, the one of the most popular video tool come to place, in end of July. I tested them on Clean, and so this is what I did. Basically, I have the story. I have hundreds of images, and I combine them into different phase of the different scenes of the story, and then I shortlist all the images for every part of the story, and then I'll be able to then I brought them to I brought all these images to life using Clean at that time. So you can either animate one image, or you can use the start image, one image as a start frame, and then one image as the end frame, and then make it a coherent video. Yeah, so there are a lot of things that we can do with a combination of the tools now. So it's not one tool, but if you know how to prompt ChatGPT, then you know how to generate music from Sonora or something, and then you know how to create images using DALL-E or Midjourney, and then you can bring all these together into a story. The next step is simply to animate the story, convert the story into the videos, and then you will have a movie. Yeah, that is how simple it is.
Nice. But for that to work, you need to have scene consistency in the sense that your main character needs to stay and look the same throughout the images, and that's the tough part for image prompting.
Yeah, so I use DALL-E, and this one is easy because it's just a white cat, right? But if I use a human character, I will not use DALL-E. I will use another tool. Maybe I will use Midjourney, or maybe I will use Flux or any tool that has ControlNet or has character reference. Then I will be able to generate the same character doing different things in different parts of the storyboard. Then you can bring them together. Then you can animate all the images and make them a full film.
Nice. So are you recommending that we do Flux for the generation of images? Because it sounds like you've mentioned that name a lot of times. Like, is that like the better tool right now?
It's one of the I think it is the best, according to not according to me, according to many people. It is the best open source AI image model in the market, and you can also access the model in a lot of tools. So there are tool, so you don't have to build your own build your workflow from scratch. You can use that from online tools. So Flux is one of them, and I would still use I would also use Leonardo if you are new to Gen AI, and if you just want some quick test of proof of concept. Leonardo is actually perfect.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So when you have courses for this, do let me know. Yeah. So that we can learn also. Yeah, because right now I think you only have the DALL-E one, right? Are
I
you
don't have
intending
a
to do the
course
Flux
for
also?
I don't have a course for Leonardo, but it's quite easy. So I don't feel the need of
Yeah.
making a course for Leonardo. Are you seeing my Can you see my desktop?
Yes, can. But before we move to Leonardo, I have a question from Evan.
Yeah.
He asked whether DALL-E can generate 3D images.
3D models or 3D images. It's possible to generate the CGI style 3D cartoon, right? With DALL-E, it is possible, but it doesn't generate 3D models. If you want a 3D model, there are other tools that you can generate a proper 3D model using text prompt. There are tools to do that.
Yeah. So I think the answer is just an image. Yeah. The DALL-E will only generate you a 2D image, but it can look 3D in the 2D image, but you won't get the 3D model that you can use
Yeah,
like
that's
the
right.
game engine. Yeah. But you don't do 3D models, right? Your focus is mainly images, right?
My focus is video. Yeah, video images.
Video images in the 2D plane. I mean, not a 3D like immersive world kind. It's more like a screen on the screen kind. Yeah.
So I don't build 3D models. I focus on my only focus is generative AI, So, but if we can do 3D models with GenAI, I will also test that. I actually tested a few tools using models, but I was not very happy with that. So I use other method. Like I play a Roblox game. And I can from the Roblox game, this 3D world, right? You can record the screen, you can record your screen of your play of the some of the game scenes, and then you can convert the 3D world into a realistic world or into other styles. So I did that. It's pretty amazing to see how different styles what different styles you can achieve.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think we can move to this, Leonardo. Actually, the images that they have over here, I mean, your generation history looks very professional. I mean, it looks way more professional than DALL-E 3. I wonder why it's so much better. Like,
It's just a photorealistic image, and DALL-E has a certain style that you cannot change. So that's why it's not that great for photorealism. So the best thing about okay, let's come back to the beginning. Leonardo is quite a comprehensive tool. Are you seeing my homepage?
yeah, your homepage.
Okay. So it has a lot of like AI tools. Um, and the foundational model is stable diffusion. And so if I just check image creation, I'll be here, right? And the best thing about the tool is that you can, if you're a new user, you can just select the presets. For example, I want stock photography. Just now we selected stock photography, and then you can set up the parameters very easily. And generation mode is quality, dimensions, 60. Yeah, let's do the landscape.
Actually, they make it really easy for beginners to generate. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I can totally do this.
yeah, your prompt can be very simple because they make everything else quite easy. On Midjourney, you have to manually set up the parameters. Although now Midjourney is also getting simpler, but I think Leonardo has a lot of great features for new users. And
It's not free, right? This I need to subscribe, right? For Leonardo.
Leonardo, yeah, you need to subscribe. I think they have some free credits.
Oh, cool. I'll try it out afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so you can
Uh,
put your reference image here also, right? To let them generate on the reference image.
yes. I want to show you this. In the advanced setting, they have different models. All the models are trained based on diffusion, stable diffusion. And yeah, so let's say if I just want the basic one, I can choose SDXL 1.0. But these days I use more of the Leonardo Kino XL, which is a version of the stable diffusion. Yeah, then we can try something very simple. Like just now I generate this. So we can have yeah, so the prompt is high angle. So I have the camera angle, then extremely close up, an elegant coffee table in a high-end cafe. You can also add shot on Canon EOS.
Oh, looks exactly like the DALL-E 3 prompt handbook. So you use the
Yeah,
same kind of prompts for
yeah,
Leonardo as well.
you can use the same prompt because it's the same model. So it was built similarly. Yeah, the camera, yeah, you can add a random camera here, then generate. It's very fast. They also have, for example, they also have the motion video, but their video was based on I think the earlier version of stable diffusion video, which is not that practical. You can upscale the image to 4K. Then you can also edit in cameras. So if we edit something, sorry.
So they do have the Photoshop kind of editing mode where you can select a
Similar.
text and edit, or you must edit the whole image.
You can select part of the image. I don't know why it's not showing. Anyway.
Oh, that's really cool, because I actually use Photoshop only for the part where you want to, select an image and change it. But I tried it, it doesn't really match with the background sometimes. So maybe Leonardo can do a better job at this.
Let's try.
Yeah, actually all this, it really depends on what training data set they use. So if you want to do your own image gen model, it can be tough if you use a model that's trained on like low res image and you suddenly want to scale to high res image. It's very difficult. So you will need to own a lot of high res image to train it yourself. So that's why the image gen, but it's best to leave it to people who actually have the data to train it.
Yes, and sometimes, yeah. So on Leonardo, you can also try you can also train a model. For example, I have the training data sets. I generated a set of images of this character using Midjourney, and then you can start training. And then after training, you will have your fine-tuned models here, and under your models, you will have this avatar test, which I don't like it. I don't like the quality of the trained model, so I didn't use it. But it's possible if you want to train a model based on some certain images, you can totally do that.
So, in your DALL-E 3 course, you talk about like you can prompt the image to be like consistent and so on. Do you recommend doing that course method or like using Leonardo and train your model yourself? Like which one is better?
I think using Leonardo is better. You don't even need to use sorry, I'm looking for an image.
Hey, no worries. I'll interrupt you later then.
Yeah. Am I sharing my desktop? Yeah, I am, right? Do you see the coffee image?
Yes, a coffee mug on a table. Yes.
Okay. So I want to use this image as a reference. And then you can upload this file to generate new files.
I love it already. This is something that the GPT-4 cannot do for you because you cannot put the image as a starting reference for another image. Like they will convert it to text for you and from the DALL-E 3 model. So this is a huge plus already, in my opinion.
Yeah. I have a better example here. Give me 1 second. Okay, can I let me share the screen again.
Yeah, sure.
So I just uploaded this painting. This is the Great Waves of Kanagawa, I think. This one, right? So I want to generate something similar to this, but with different style. You can choose star reference, and you can use image to image. Like they are very similar. Basically, you can use any of them. Let's use so if the image is a character, you can use character reference. And then you
This
also
can help with this can help with consistency already by making the character the same based on the previous image.
Yeah, I found this one quite useful, edge to image. So let's choose this one. I never tried it on this painting, but we can try edge to image. And then in the prompt, you can leave it. You can just say that a coffee table with painting. Let's try it. I don't know how it will look like, but and the parameter here is here this is something you can adjust. Strength. If you use high strength, it means that it focuses closely to the painting as close as possible. So if we max it out, let's say, and then we can also try another one. We can try the low strength. The low strength will most likely generate something completely like
Not related to the picture, right?
not related to the picture, but more related to my prompt.
I see. This is actually very similar to like the coefficients on the Mid Journey, where you can say how strong you want certain text to be when you condition the image. They will just weigh it differently when they use it to condition the ControlNet. I mean, when you use condition the stable diffusion process.
Yeah. So just now I was using edge to image. I think in this case, image to image is better. We can try again.
I mean, if you look at the image, they did preserve the ages. I mean, the waves are exactly the same if you look at like the coffee table painting.
Yes. So yeah, so do you see this? This is the most, so the first group is the I think it's the default setting, which is about 1 in the middle. So it is a coffee table with the painting style coffee table. Then the second one is the edge of the painting is very close, right? It essentially captures the edge of the painting, but there's no coffee table. The painting itself is part of the coffee table, but then the third group is a coffee table with low strength of the edge setting. Here you can see that there's no edge.
And not related at all to the image.
Not related.
Yeah.
Maybe the color is related, but yeah, there's a difference. And here is even, yeah. And this one I used the let me see. Yeah, so this one I use the image strength, image to image. And here you can see that it's a painting on the coffee table.
Oh, that's really nice actually. Like the fact that you can preserve the original image is a huge plus. Like I'm recently going to launch my new agentic framework, the Agent Joe, AGENTJO. So I need to create a logo. In fact, I'm gonna host a logo generation competition. So I think this Leonardo can generate really good images for that kind of style that you want. Like you can even sketch something and put as a reference image, right? And then you can follow that sketch. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it depends on how, yeah, it depends on how close your it depends on the resolution of your sketch. I can show you another example. So I used this, right? I use this as one of the examples. This is a painting. It's a very famous painting in the Qing Dynasty, China. This is part of the painting, and I want to convert this into a realistic photo, which is almost impossible. But let's try.
Actually, do you use this for your storyboarding for videos? The Leonardo app or the DALL-E app?
For
Yeah, for storyboarding, like I know you're gonna have a video course soon, but so I guess your recommendation is we should use some form of image gen like Leonardo to get the storyboard.
yeah, I use all the major image tools. So I already have a lot of images generated with DALL-E with stories. Then I also use Midjourney and the others. Yeah, if you want a structure, if you want something like a logo design with a proper structure, or if you want to convert the sketch into a photo, yeah, sorry. If you want to convert the sketch into a photo, and I think any tool with ControlNet would be something good to choose, like Leonardo. There are a few other ones.
Yeah, it looks to me that ControlNet is very powerful. In fact, it's been invented 1 year ago, but a lot of the image gen companies, they haven't really incorporated it yet. Like, for example, OpenAI, which is a pity because I would kind of like to use it. And I do know many startups, like also in Singapore, that are also basing their startups on ControlNet. So
Yeah.
ControlNet is really very, very useful. I'm just waiting for Meta to release a free one. So I hope see when they want to do it. Yeah. So yeah, I think I know today we are not going to cover videos, but I want to give you some opportunity to also like maybe advertise your upcoming course on videos. First, we have a question from one of our audience, Chicken. So you see what you can answer because I know you cannot give away trade secrets, but yeah, Chicken, you want to do you want to ask verbally or I ask your question for you?
I think you can ask.
Okay, I can ask for you, right? So basically, Chicken's question is for videos, which models or tools are the best to use in the market right now?
It's very different and very difficult to say. Yeah, because every model has their own every model has their own strength. I I I think so if we put them into different tiers, in tier one, there are a few of them. One of them is Clean, right? Clean is the one the model owned by Kuaishou. They are pretty good at cartoon or photorealistic images and videos. So Clean is one of them. And then there's Runway. Runway has a full set of tools. I use Runway a lot. That you can do video to video, image to video, text to video, and Runway is actually the fastest model in the market. Then there's also Luma Stream Machine. It's pretty good at transitions. So they're also, it's quite similar to other tools, but it's very good at transitions. Then recently I tested another model called called Hilo AI. It's owned by Minimax. It's pretty good. It's also pretty good at animations. So every tool has their advantage. It depends on which what topic you want to generate. Yeah. Okay. So now we have this, right? We already have this these images, right? So you can see that from a painting, from an ancient painting, this is original. From an ancient painting, we can convert it into a photorealistic image. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's
Yeah, there's some artifacts at the side of the pillars. You can see that, but overall, I think it looks realistic enough, like the background.
Yeah, overall it's getting there. If you let's say if you upload this image to a video model, you can generate a very good video. You can already generate a very good video of this.
But they won't make it perfect, right? They will still preserve all these artifacts that you see here. Like the video will still contain all this, right? They won't resolve it for you, right?
Not necessarily. Some video models are doing a better job in image generation as well. So if I put this image, it's not low resolution image to Runway, I will be able to get a high resolution video of that look much nicer than this picture.
Who is your video course on
I
Runway
can show you,
or on Kling?
I can show you examples.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Sure. So actually, I can imagine a future where all you need is video gen models. Like the video gen models can just generate the image, and the video gen models can also generate the video. I guess an image is just a single slice of a video. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
so in the end, we just need the video gen model. We don't really need the image gen anymore.
That's a possible direction. Yeah. But video models are trained on the smaller. If you compare the width of the data set, the video gen models are trained on the narrower uh, scope of the videos. So they must be trained on high resolution, high quality videos. They can't simply dump all the videos in the world to train a model. So that's why you can't generate many things using text to video approach. Yeah, so I think the image models will still be there, and then they will be used together with the video models. So if you can't generate certain videos, you generate the images first, and then you can animate the images and combine them into a story.
Unless they bootstrap the image weights first, then they train the video. Like I think Sora did something like that. They have trained on the images first, and then after that, then they train on the videos.
Then you can also do that. Okay, so here's an example. So this is a painting, right? And then I use Leonardo to convert the painting into a photo. The photo is not very ideal, but if you upload the photo into to Runway, then the video look more realistic than the photos. The video look more realistic than the Leonardo images.
So it means Leonardo is not that great for photorealistic as compared to this. Sorry, what software is this for the video?
This is Runway.
Runway. So Runway is more photorealistic than Leonardo. That's interesting.
Runway is actually one of the leading AI companies. They also have an image model, but they are known for the video, of course. Then Leonardo uses their own versions of Stable Diffusion. They don't have the Flux yet. So if they incorporate other top open source models, they can easily they already have the infrastructure, so they can easily make more realistic images.
That's really cool. So actually, we have reached near the end of today's session. I just want to ask Chikin's second question, and then after that, I give you some time to promote your upcoming video course, which I will definitely join. Yeah, it's extremely cool how you do all this stuff. So I asked Chikin's question again, a second question. So he asked, for video generation, is it possible now to prompt a model to change its context after 2 minutes? And like, for example, you can create a video of maybe some hiker in the mountains, and after 2 minutes, the background will change to a restaurant. Like, can a model transition that well? Like any video gen model, can it do that? Like too
So at the
drastically?
moment,
Yeah.
at the moment, the best video models can generate the best video models that are accessible to the public can generate up to 10 seconds clip. So within 10 seconds, you can do the transition. You can focus on one subject and then the camera move away and transition into something else. That is possible. Yeah, but if you want to do it like for 2 minutes, you have to generate multiple videos, and
Multiple 10-second clips.
yeah, you essentially you need a storyboard, and then in the storyboard you can generate all the 10-second clips and then combine them together.
Nice. Then we have another question from Evan. He asked whether like an image gen models, can they accept 3D shapes as inputs, basically like 3D structure as input. I actually don't think so, right? Like right now, the image gen models like DALL-E, at least based on my understanding of ControlNet, is all 2D inputs.
Let me check the question again.
Can DALL-E accept videos and 3D images as inputs?
It doesn't accept videos as input, and if the image is a 3D style, then you can use that as a reference. Yeah. Have you seen this video? I just made it yesterday.
Oh, not yet. Which one?
Let me share again.
Yeah, so I'll just leave the last few minutes to you to share that video, and also like maybe you can talk more about your upcoming video course so that people know where to find it.
Yeah. Can you see my screen? This is the 3D CGI.
Oh, DALL-E 3 can generate these images.
Yeah, I didn't generate anything new. It's from a project I did in January this year. What I did was simply animate everything.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah. I didn't know DALL-E 3 can generate like realistic videos. I thought it would be a bit more of the like less realistic, like more of a drawing kind.
Yeah, it's possible. Just that it takes a bit.
It's
Yeah.
harder to prompt, right, than to use Leonardo.
If you want more structure control, like the use case that I shared, you can use Leonardo. But if you want more creativity, I think DALL-E is pretty good. Or Midjourney, if you want photorealistic images.
All right, cool.
So I have a video course this Thursday at 4 p.m. If you're interested, I can share the link here.
Will this be on Udemy or something? Like, will you intend to do a video course on it soon?
Maybe later this maybe later this year or early next year. It depends on how the technology evolve. But basically, I do more of the online training and the face-to-face training these days. And in November, I have another. If you miss this one, right? If you miss the Thursday one, which is online, I have a classroom training in November. So I haven't announced it yet, but we will announce it soon.
Very nice. Thanks so much for coming down to share your insights about image generation and a little on video generation. And I think as the saying goes, like, you need like 10,000 hours to expertise. You are almost there already, 1,000 plus hours. So I think Gen AI, as much as the understanding the math and the tech is important, it's also very important to tinker around and experiment with things. Like when I do my agentic framework, the way to learn is just to keep trying and trying and fail and fail and improve and improve. So I think for image prompting and video prompting is the same thing. You keep trying until it works. Yeah. So
yeah,
Tianyu is someone who has tried a lot and he definitely has a lot of knowledge in his head. He's only sharing a bit of it today. I hope to learn from you soon, and I look forward to your other contents on the videos. So thanks so
Thank you
much
so
again
much.
for coming, and yeah, see you around.
Thank you. It's a great discussion. See you.